If you buy a smoke at the start of the round and either die with it or waste it some off the cuff throw that leaves a gap bigger than a double decker bus, then stick around to the end of this video and your util game will have gone up by at least 25 points. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, as I'll be posting more useful videos every week and shorts showing off util almost daily. Now, no one wants to spend 10 minutes watching a video showing off all 100 ways you can smoke off long on every single map, but we also all have that friend who buys util and doesn't know what to do with it, and so wastes it by the end of the round. Or maybe you are that person. In either case, in this video, I'll be showing you one smoke for every map that you can throw almost every round. That means if you only know one smoke per map, make sure it's one of these. Now, Mirage is by far the most played map, and I just released a video talking about how to take mid control with very limited util, in fact the util that only one person could buy, and how to do it yourself. But I think I would go amiss not showing you how to smoke off window, as I want one smoke per map, the most important smoke you can throw every round, and on Mirage, that would definitely be the window smoke. Now, to throw it, or at least to throw the one I like to throw, you get stuck on this side of the bin, aim up at this corner here, hold D for about half a second, and then jump throw, and land straight in the window. Now you can throw this from any spawn point, you can throw it from this door, here, over there, even B-apps, but this one's the most reliable for me, and it blocks off so much information here. So Dust 2 is definitely a popular map, and the most important spot probably to smoke, I would say, is Xbox. It gives you such good denial of information, blocking off the mid player, making the short player have to focus on Xbox, on cat, on lower tons, denying them any backup from the mid player. And it is so easy. You get stuck in this corner, you aim at the corner of this building, right where the shadow is, and you just jump through. It is as simple as that, it is easy as that. There is no need to mess this one up, ever. And it just blocks off so much information. Jumping over to Inferno, probably the next most popular map. Most people think of a CT smoke when it comes to Inferno, but you can't throw that every round, not unless you have banana control or are going B. If you want to throw it while faking and you're going A, then the lineup over here isn't going to help you if you are actually going B and are up banana. Most people also just throw it off the cuff. One smoke you can throw every round though to deny CTs a lot of information and gain quite a bit of map control is for top mid. Now if you get stuck against this metal bar, there's a small wee ramp here, you'll feel it as you play. You turn around, look at the almost the end of the antenna, just between this sort of spike and this spike, aim up to in line with the roof. It's quite loose, so it's quite forgiving if you mess it up, and then just do a jump throw. You'll get kicked out of the spot, that's how you know you're in it properly. And the smoke will just come down, bounce, and pop just here. Now, this will stop visibility to short and long, but it also covers the entire width, which means the long player can't support the short player. The short player cannot support the long player. Boiler has free reign to pick 1 versus 1s all the way out here. You can flash over into the left here and go right, you can flash right and go left. There's no supporting each other. It also means they can't look down mid, they can't push mid, they sort of get pulled away from it. Now if you're throwing this and going B, they can't see you going in banana. They also can't have an AWP or try and take a cheeky pick. They will also bait out so much utility that when it comes to doing retakes, these players aren't going to have the utility. They'll throw mollies, they'll throw nades, they'll throw flashbangs. Throw this in a round and just watch as they'll throw everything they've got because they don't know what to expect. You've cut off their eyes, they can't see, no idea what's going to come, and so they start to panic. And that's what makes this smoke so useful to throw every round. Moving over onto Ancient, and the decision was actually quite a lot harder than for every other map, is you don't get as much use out of this smoke as all the other maps. And that's because the way this map is played, especially in higher elo, 2 players will most likely be playing mid, either one in donut and one pushing down mid or in red house. So just smoking off red house isn't as useful, but I've chose this one because you can follow up with flashes from just a few steps ahead, and that is to smoke off red house from this line up here, and you just get stuck right against this brick here, or the gap in the brick I should say, and aim right at the crack of these 2 bricks, and you want to do a jump throw. That will smoke off red house, kind of deep as well, so there isn't any room on the outside really for them to play out of. Some smokes come out and you can actually hide in the smoke or creep along the smoke and play in it as a CT. But the reason I've chose that smoke is because if you just come up here, and this is a kind of cheating, this is a smoke video, right? But if you then aim here and do a jump throw, then that flashbang hits anyone pushing down mid. And that's the reason I've chose it, is because it pairs so well with other utility. Now you don't have to throw flashes, but throwing that every round and then just knowing that you can throw that flash and punish any CT pushing down, whether it is coming around this corner here or pushing down these steps, is so strong. And if you do that every T round, then you will get such a good chokehold on mid that it makes your T rounds so much easier. Even if you aren't going through mid, just throwing that util so that the CTs support mid more and hunker down on it because they don't want to lose it, makes both sides weaker as a result. So when talking about nuke, most people would probably recommend letting the outside smokes, as the outside smokes can win and lose you games of nuke. If you know them, you have a massive advantage. The problem is, those are two smokes paired together, not one. And so if you only want you to land one smoke per map, and one you could throw every single round, instead of the outside smokes, there's an alternate version of the main smoke that you can throw. Now, smoking off main in this way denies anyone outside visual onto silo. It denies anyone inside main visual to the outside, anyone outside visual into main. So if you throw this when going A, it kind of locks the outside players outside. If you throw it when going outside, it locks the A players inside. It can cause the having player to rotate off of watching A into watching outside in secret, which if you're going outside isn't the best, but if you are going into A, it means A side is weaker. It also gets them further away from the ramp rotate. So to throw it, you're going to line up with the left side of this doorway. You're going to aim just a smidge to the left of this part of the fence, and you're going to go quite a wee bit above this bulb. Now this is close to the lineup of the normal main smoke, but slightly different. And the slight difference will make it pop more in the centre of the roof, but still bleed over, meaning that it should smoke off all the way down here, and it still stops anyone seen onto silo like the normal main smoke. The new train was definitely the hardest decision to make, is although there is so many good smokes that you can use while going A and going B or long, there isn't really one for every single occasion, and it's just the way the map's designed. But one that I like to throw on 90% of rounds is definitely the sandwich smoke, as it denies the CT's info into main and just makes them have to be more careful around A, even if you are faking B. And because of where it's thrown from, you can throw this and then quickly run to be with your team and be like the last in, or to throw flashes of support for your team in run into B. You just want to get stuck in this corner here, aim the triangle of the crane here, and move up to your crosshairs halfway between the crane and the wire here, and then it's just a standing throw. By far the easiest one in this video so far, and it'll just come in and right between the yellow and red train and block off all visibility into main. And finally, our last map, overpass. Now I was tempted to do the bathroom smoke or a top con smoke for overpass, but this map's quite unique, as it's the first one I'm going to be showing a CT smoke for, that being a smoke thrown by the CTs. And that's because I think the monster smoke should be thrown every round. If the CTs can afford the smoke, someone should be throwing this smoke, as it just denies so much information to the T's, it slows them down and rush, it baits out utility. If you pair this with the con molly, then it's so good, and an A player can play it, can throw it, can play it, English, can throw it and then head into bathrooms, can play long but late, or can play sight. It's just such a versatile smoke. And to throw it, all you have to do is either aim down from this or aim at this. Now both of these will give you a different result, like slightly on how deep the smoke comes out, and it is really up to personal preference. I prefer that one as it goes a wee bit further into the tunnel. Other ones you throw can come out to here and bleed more. giving the T's a wee bit more room, but also this one will bleed more into the tunnel, and if you combine this with a Molotov on this side, then and maybe a flash going into the corner here as like a team play, then T's are running out of the smoke, full blind into a molly and a spray, and that's why I have that small wee tweak to it instead of just using the sort of default universal one that lands here instead. That is it, that is the final smoke. And now that you know a smoke you can throw every single round, now you have no excuse but dying with a smoke every round. Using these smokes correctly and working around them, either solo or with a team, can greatly increase your map control and deny so much information. Bye for now, and good luck.